Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we are working on the final project. The factory that will build our final space elevator parts. And last time was infrastructure day. Belts, highways, truck roads, and even some new houses. All have been built so we can easily harvest and industrialize this biome. However, there are still like the hundreds of thousands of items we need to collect for this project. And you know, that's a little spooky. So here's the deal. Because I don't want to deal with this all at once, we'll do the item collection in two parts. One day, we'll be organizing all of the random nodes in the Dune Desert here. And today, we'll be getting all of the rest of the items throughout the entire rest of the world. Oh yes, far less intimidating, Mr. Kibbs. True, Mr. Kibitz. Very true. Well, you know, kind of. Whenever the sign here says like MB, that means main base. And DD there means Dune Desert. So all of the limestone that we need is either at our main base or the Dune Desert. And we're gonna count stuff at the main base as like already gathered. So that means we're looking for other symbols. HS, what does HS mean? Oh, Hellspires. Yeah, we put these giant towers together a little while ago, and this is making a ton of Caterium, I think. And we have a train station ready to go for it as well. So we are good on that. We're also gonna ignore copper because we ran out in the world and we're gonna have to do some Sam shenanigans. So what does that leave? Coal, probably? We need 22,000 coal, most of which is at the main base. Then just in the Dune Desert here, and then RD. Rocky Desert. This biome way on the other side of the world. But like one train from over here to over there, it's okay, sure. And then there is Quartz, 7,000 Quartz, main base, turbo, and then 4,200 mean. Wait, do we just have to run around and find 4,200 Quartz? Okay. And then the raid boss really here is going to be sulfur. TLDR, it's all over the place, and we have to figure that out. Lots more trains, and then nitrogen, we just need another drone port somewhere. We are good, though, on pretty much everything else. And to keep things simple, let's first deal with the quartz. We're right outside the Dune Desert. We have a huge supply right over in the trees here. So there's a pure node and two normal nodes for 2,400 quartz per minute, which just means we need a train track that attaches to either that line or this line and goes down the hill there. Perfect world, since this track goes to our nuclear power plant, I'd rather just have a train that goes from over here and then straight across and then straight back, because I don't want too many interruptions in this horrific knot. In fact, you know what? Do we even need this knot? There are no trains that are gonna turn this way, ever. So, something we could do is adjust things. I don't like how the knot looks there. We could just have a train track that goes straight that way and then straight back, which would let us be able to obliterate this entire track area here, which will cause absolutely no problems at all, right? How did that not? Right, literally the game won't even let me make mistakes. So this will be fine. And one quick boop, everything's reorganized, and there will be no future repercussions for this decision.
By the way, we call that foreshadowing.
Ha ha ha. Doesn't it all just look so clean? Now the uranium is not interrupted either, like with extra quartz trains. Yeah, this is a good call, if everything goes right. Okay, train time though. We just need a quartz train that goes off to the right here. So I skedaddle a little track over this way, and we just have to build a new station over here. We'll probably have 4 freight cars because moving 2,400 items per minute is a lot. And good news is we have blueprints. So many blueprints. All of the blueprints, some of which are for trains that go true. It's pretty much an entire train station ready to rock and roll here. Just gotta nudge that bad boy into place. And with the station here, we have the main actual front of it, and we have an area underneath for bins and logistics and all that fun stuff. Oh, but we still don't have power. No! Ew, the dirt. Also, demons. I knew you would be here. Don't worry, I have a, okay, you know what? Fine. Not fine, more bullets, please. Ah! Look, you have to move anyway. There's a train being built over your ancestral home. Like, come on. Don't need to be so grumpy about it. But okay, train starter is in, and from here I just kind of copy and paste what we already have going. So H to hold, build the new freight platform. We wanted 4, and you know what? Let's just be a little greedy. We probably don't need 2 locomotives to pull this train. It's small. This should be just fine. As for the track then, we'll just scoot that over to the side here. Like 2 tiles over. We don't hit that tree. Pretty much perfect, right? Should be. We just have the track in the middle of this platform. Like the little concrete bit does clip, but we will get rid of that after everything is said and done. All right, so I can adjust that a little bit later. Track looks pretty good, and the station is practically in. Okay then, everything's looking fine, so we'll just extend all of the extra patterns, line up our bins, then just send over the belts, and we are done. That is the train station. I've built many of these, so definitely wasn't my first rodeo and took no time really to set up. And it looks pretty good. Again, trains won't clip with the tree, got the pillars in there. All the belt work is dealt underneath here, got some windows. And because we have the 4 freight cars, each freight car will carry 600 items per minute, which should be fine throughput-wise. So back at Project Hoos, we can change the numbers. This is now minus 2,400, and we'll just put like a T for like it's at a train, but that still means we need another 1,800. But we'll find that somewhere, right? Sure. First, I want to check on this 2,100 we have over here, because apparently we left that at our turbo fuel power plant. But that was an ancient Kibs maneuver. I might have done something weird with the quartz. In fact, I think I did. I think we're making power shards out of the quartz somehow. I really just don't remember. So the quartz is technically right down there, but then I belted it all together, brought it over this way, and a bunch of it goes over to, yes, the power shard factory we built over that way. Okay, but it looks like, woo, past Kibitz. Were you a gentleman and a scholar? Is this a smart splitter? If this is a smart splitter, I'm gonna be so impressed. It is, with the overflow going towards power shard creation. Bravo, buddy. So that's 1,200 right there. The 900 right here. Guess is from like a normal and an impure node. Not sure. When did I set this up? 900 per minute? Oh, I might have done this just over on a live stream. Like, I must have. Yeah, what was happening was all of these miners were only Mark 2s. So I upgraded them, and I'm yoinking the excess material we can now get from the upgraded miners. That checks out. However, I saw this is floating here, and that just will not do. Good. But as for the materials, the big deal is to consider them collected. I want them all the way over at our main base over there. But good news is I already brought a variety of other materials to our main base on a belt highway. So we just have to get these 3 belts through all of this and to that belt highway there. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Actually, no, it won't be. This is probably one of the last things we're gonna be doing in this area. So I am pulling out the final trump card. We're digging. Pretty much the main reason I like to build with the 4-meter foundations is in case of emergencies, we can just dig underneath our existing infrastructure, add in a little platform Marinsky, and in the worst case scenario, where we have stuff built over top, we can still add in another platform to make it look like it's still supported, while running all of the belts underneath here. So we'll have the sulfur, 900 quartz, and 1,200 quartz belts going just over this way. And with straight belt build mode, it's just a 1, 2, and a 3, and we are ready to rock and roll. So belts go under here, go over to there, skewed on down this way to the fish tank. All right, from here, how do we get through it? So the belt's down here, could go through like this wall. And is there anything in our way? It's literally empty. Okay, perfect. But what about on the other side? Okay, we got a free tile right here. That's even better. Because if we have a free tile, we can always add in a belt support tower, like right there. Give it a little bit of detail. Then use conveyor lifts to bring the belts up. Skew them on over. We can attach the belts on top of this belt highway, go around all of this other stuff, and we are at the main destination. Easy. But now please tell me, these are blueprints up here. Please, please, please. Oh no. Oh my gosh, dude, I was gonna freak out unironically there. We need these to be blueprints so I can go into blueprint build mode. And then we can just easily auto-connect them and drag them on back. Okay, that's gonna save me like hours and hours and hours. Perfect. We're not gonna use this specific blueprint, but we can just use a smaller version that's just 3 belts. Main case in point is we can use blueprints and spam them over that way. Like seriously, my reliance on auto-connecting blueprints at this point is unreal. Like they're as important as the vertical conveyor lifts. I use them so much. And for huge projects like this, it's like, bro, how could I do things any other way? And again, in like no time, is another huge project done. Material is brought into the base, all the way upstairs to the tippy top, where it will wait for final production. And even better news, I actually forgot. There's the 2 quartz nodes in the Dune Desert, way in the back here. Which means, so far as quartz is concerned today, we are done. In fact, we have extra quartz for the project. So maybe we could throw that into a converter on our great quest for copper way later on. In fact, there is a recipe for that, right? Yes. Sam, raw quartz, copper, we take those. Other good news is that we found that 900 turbo stuff. So that is now actually at the main base, meaning we need about 200 more. And we have 300 just in the swamp. So maybe we belt that over, but I need to switch gears here. Too much belt work already today. Instead, we're gonna go after the nitrogen. We already have 900 nitrogen packaged and ready to drone in, but we need another drone port for the 1,650. And I'm actually really excited to get this nitrogen because we're gonna do something like this, where we're gonna set up a new drone base. This one is bringing a bunch of packaged nitrogen gas over to our nuclear power plant. We have 900 packaged nitrogen ready to go for our final factory here. And the main thing with this is just it's cool. It's like a little outpost, and I like it a lot. Kind of a nice change of pace from all of like the mega projects we work on. And we're gonna be working in a really fun location as well. Over here, where we have exactly 1,650 nitrogen gas. But more importantly, the terrain around here is really cool. So we're gonna make a new drone base on top of this cliff right there. Just gotta clear out the squatters. What are you doing on my planet? I don't see your permit written down anywhere. That's right, nope, can't run from your problems now, Billy. You must pay for your mistakes with your life. Thanks. Okay, let's go grab the goods. So we'll drag this foundation down, we'll drag it over, and we'll have some pipes just going up the side of the cliff here. The wonderful thing about gas is with the gases, you don't need pumps. They rise. That's half the reason why they are so fun to work with. No pump shenanigans, no pressurizing, none of that nonsense. What the, oh, okay, dude. We have some other nonsense though. Billy, stop harming the machine. Come over this way, Billy. I wanna show you something cool. Or you're just gonna enjoy your time mucking with my equipment. Yeah, you know what? You can also just do that. Fair enough, have fun, don't care. We have things to do. Okay then. Step 1 is gathering up the gas. And usually how I go about this is I set up some platforms, just kind of around wherever the nodes are. And I start gathering them up from there. Oh wait, Billy, he's free! And moonwalking, wow, you got some moves there, Billy. I wanted to show him something very important. Billy, look into the abyss. Or you could just hang out down there. Anyway, as I was saying, I like to gather up all of the nodes here. You have one more chance, Billy. You want to throw more rocks? Okay. Oh, and what? You just think you can escape into the abyss? I don't dingo. Stupid organic. Okay, let's get back to work here for Pete's sake. Yeah, I just want to gather up all the pipes together. Since it is 1,650, that will be 2 pipes of 600 and then 1 pipe of, well, 450. So we'll make the 2 600 pipes and then whatever's left, we'll throw together into the last one. And fun little trick actually with these resource wells is usually they don't like to align to whatever kind of like platform or world grid you're working with. So what you can do is clip a platform into them, then you get a pipe, and then you just build the pipe off of that to the best of your ability. So it looks good, or like good-ish. And then you can get rid of that and place down more fancy infrastructure after. Maybe even a little logistics blueprint like the box here. And that looks a little bit better if it was painted more coherently, like gray. There we go. Yeah, if you just do this over and over and over again, eventually everything looks very organized. You better believe Mr. Kibitz likes it when things are organized. Just gotta micro nudge that into place. Sometimes it will never be perfect, but you know what? A lot of the time it can be pretty good, especially with all these building options and a little bit more patience. But you know, sometimes it takes a lot of patience. But with that trick where you just have like the junctions and you clip them into the foundations like this, it's much easier to make things look all right sometimes, a lot of the time. By the time you get a lot of pipe chaos going on, man, the little indiscrepancies are pretty negligible. It all looks very clean and nice. In fact, I'd say we are good to go here. Gas is collected. Now we just have to send her on up into drones and ship it out. Up over this way, let's get some of the platform ready to go, where we are going to have our drone port. So I'm thinking we're gonna have 2 drones, each carrying, what, 825 gas per minute? Yeah, that should be good. Usually that is a little too much for drones to handle, like throughput wise, as in it can't carry that much material like back and forth fast enough. But when it comes to gases and packaging it, the gases get compressed. So 240 nitrogen gas goes into 60 packaged nitrogen gas tanks. So really, each drone is just gonna be moving like 200 material per minute. Not bad. And with 2 drones, that'll be plenty. High key, I'm just building the 2 drone ports because it will look better. You know how it is. Rula cool, baby. So we'll have 1 drone port right over here. The other drone port right over there, just with like this little bit hanging over the side. And then we'll build some sort of like packaging tower just in the space in between the pipes here and the ports there. And what precisely do we have to build? Well, again, we're compressing stuff, right? So if we fully overclock some packagers, that is 600 nitrogen gas per packager? Okay, bud, that is really, really, really good. That means really, we just need 3 packagers. Wow, maybe we don't need the whole tower. No, we definitely need a whole tower. No matter what, even if we don't have a lot of machines, we're gonna have to have a lot of fluid bouffeurs for all of the gas to be stored in. So somehow we'll fit them into one giant build. For now, let's get some basics done. Or let's say we have the 4 packagers just like so. Then we'll have a second floor, and this floor will just be for item bins, both for packaged nitrogen gas that will go into the drone ports, and then for the empty canisters. The drones will take the packaged material out, but also bring back the empty canisters to be refilled, or empty fluid tanks, whatever. So we'll want a storage for both then. Outputs will go that way, this way, and then upstairs in a very aesthetic manner to here and to that bin. Then from the bin, everything goes back downstairs into a splitter, and the splitter just goes to each machine. And that's like the main gist of things. The big concern is just keeping the belts on the ground, and then I'll have the pipes a little bit above, because we still need to get the gas in there, right? We'll probably have the pipes enter from over there to here, go up to the gas bouffeurs, and then back down just into machines. So the 2 600 pipes will have their own machines, and then we'll just have 2 more machines for the 450 pipe. We'll put a literal splitteroonski in between. Then the outputs, same deal, merger, going all together, up into the bin first, then back down into the drone ports, and we are done. Also gotta bring the power around. For Pete's sake, Kibitz, please. There we go. Much easier to work with. And actually, just looking at it from this angle here, hold up. I think if we had like 4 bouffeurs just above this way, things could look really, really good, really, really easily. So I have 1 here, 1 there, and then 2 more next door. And we could have 2 of them be for the 600 pipes and 2 of them be for the 450 pipe, I guess. But the big thing here is we could have a nice big wall right up in front, and then we can do all of the pipe work down to the packagers on this front-facing wall. Then aesthetically, we're gonna see all these pipes moving and grooving all over the place, the drones going up and down, and yeah, We got an aesthetic vision going on. So yeah, a little basic, but not bad. It's not great though. I went with like a big front-facing white wall here, and then a more gray wall in the front because the pipes are all with gases, right? So I wanted to keep the back wall to have some contrast. But maybe we switch that up. Yeah, definitely needs a little bit more work. The important thing is the guts are all put together. All of the belt work is handled. It all doesn't clip, not too much anyway, and works kind of as intended. Even got some walking paths going in out in a boot, which is all right. Not beautiful, it's not perfect, but I will probably fix things a little bit more later on. I don't know, the main thing is we had like this outer aesthetic and the pipe and belt work worked, which is pretty important. But actually, you know what? I like these gray walls and I just had a great idea. What if instead we still kept the gray, but we had like unpainted or heck, even like chrome walls? Ooh, that's what we need. These walls will be all chrome and then the pipes will be the detail. Okay, good idea, Kibitz. And then is there anything else that needs to be changed around here? Like functionally, this will work. I guess, yeah, this gotta go. Easy option is I can just bring the materials down across this way, connect with the other infrastructure over there, and get those materials to the destination. Yeah, because I think that's just a big part of it. Just having a random bridge back there kind of ruins the vibe. And then maybe something going on by this tree. I feel like this little base needs to be balanced out a bit better. Ooh, actually, you know what? Maybe we could put some batteries there. And oh yeah, stroke of genius, looks phenomenal, balances out everything, and the new design for the build, even better. That chrome wall, and a couple beams, a little sign on the side that, I don't know, does nothing? I don't know, just adds a little something to the plain wall. But the main thing was getting rid of that giant concrete bridge. Now it looks like a proper just outpost. And because we brought those other items just the other way around, I was able to sneak in a power tower, bring all the power across without mucking up a lot of the aesthetics around here. And so I would say that this is done. I am very happy with this. Thumbnail worthy? Well, you tell me, future people, because I got some good and bad news. First, the good news. In reorganizing the belts over here, I realized that we could upgrade the miners and get more material. So we got an extra 720 sulfur, which is super, super important. Because with that extra sulfur, that belt goes all the way back down over to where we were earlier today. And I could join that sulfur belt up with the other sulfur belt to make a 1,200 sulfur per minute belt. Which means, according to my project parameters, we are actually done with sulfur. We have the 1,200 now at the main base, and then we have the 600 in the Dune Desert. And the rest of this stuff, well, we don't need it. That is extra sulfur just sitting in the world. Maybe we'll never use it. I'm kidding, we'll probably find a way to use it. But for now, Dunskies, the Quartz, Dunskies, and the nitrogen, Dunskies. So really, all the materials we need are either available on a drone, train, or just sitting in the Dune Desert, completing our objective for today. But we're not done for today. There are other things to fear, like changing around the tracks that feed your nuclear power plant and causing your trains to get all backed up, subsequently causing a nuclear disaster. Yeah, not great. We're down 100,000 megawatts. But Kibbs, why are you acting so nonchalant about this? Because we are prepared for nuclear disasters around these parts. And since we're only down a little bit of power right now, I'm gonna take it that, yep, we have triggered our emergency belts over this way. So whenever there is a problem with our nuclear systems, excess waste material goes over to an emergency waste processing plant way over there to be dealt with. And it looks like, is that the end of, oh no, it's all loading in. Okay, there's a lot of waste heading that way. Okay, we should fix this problem now. Anyway, at least it's not gonna crash our world, hopefully, probably not. It seems kind of weird though. I'd imagine that our subsystems would continue to work before there's a power plant crash, right? Oh. Okay, one of the important materials not being brought in by the stuck trains is some SAM. SAM used to process the plutonium. That checks out. That checks out. Are we getting enough materials for everything else? Looks like we are short a little bit of uranium, but because we do belt balancing with uranium, we should have no uranium waste backing up, right? No, it's still moving. So okay, not a huge deal. Just gotta fix those trains and get the SAM here to make some dark matter residue, and that will start fixing some of the issues. So yeah, trains quickly fixed. Systems are very, very slowly recovering. And I guess we kind of got lucky here as well, because the train was bringing over a ton of uranium, and without the uranium ore, we can't make uranium fuel rods unless we make less uranium waste. And long story short, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. Oh, but actually things are really good, because the power is A, going back up eventually, and B, if there is ever like a critical emergency, I have stockpiles of all these Fixonium fuel rods all over the place, so we can just dump these into all of our nuclear power plants to jumpstart the system if we ever have to. Now, this is not one of those times. I'll just have to keep an eye on our emergency plant here and wait a little while for the excess material to burn up. But all in all, that is fine, because holy smokes, do we have a lot still to do here. Big thing is, fears have been faced, victory is ours, and the next major step is just wrangling all the resources in the Dune Desert and getting this biome organized. And oh boy, do I got some plans around here. However though, that'll have to wait for next time. But if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. And until then, have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.